It's Ash from SuperVideos back for another video for Season 8 of Fear the Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the latest teaser that they released from the final season, some very interesting details that we're going to take a look at, and some teases and subtle hints about the future of Morgan on Fear the Walking Dead, which is a hot topic these days. So stay tuned, we'll be right back to break this down. Alright, as always, before we dive into it, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's dive right into it. Now, I'm not going to go through the entire teaser because a lot of it is scenes that we've already seen in other trailers, which we talked about in previous videos. So I'm just going to look at the new scenes or the new shots from the trailer and things that are going to give us some new details about what we can expect. Now, aside from the shots in the teaser that we're going to take a look at, I do want to quickly talk about the voiceover that's on top of the trailer. We have a female character talking about Padre and talking about how in Padre they're trying to make things better for the future of everyone and how this place is going to be great for everybody, which is definitely a theme in the Walking Dead universe, not just Fear, but any new Walking Dead show that comes out and any new community that they go to will give us this theme where this community is the best community out there. So this is not anything new, but the person talking appears to be one of the leaders of Padre, not the one in charge necessarily, but one of the leaders of Padre. And another interesting fact is that this person says Edward had something big planned. Now, who is Edward? I have no idea, but it seems like whoever Edward is, they have a bigger rank at Padre than the person that's talking, who's a female character. So that's definitely super interesting. The other thing that I found was interesting about the voiceover on the trailer is that we have someone saying this place is built on a lie. Now, they're obviously talking about Padre. I don't know if this is like Madison, Sherry, or June, or someone from our survivors group, or if it's someone from Padre, but this was definitely interesting. Not anything substantial in terms of story, because we already knew that that was probably the case, but just something interesting that was in the teaser that I did want to mention quickly. So with that, let's just jump into some of the shots that were in the trailer. First, we have this shot that shows a couple people on a rafting boat, and it looks like they're coming towards shore. Obviously, we know Padre is in an island, so this is probably people from Padre or just regular survivors getting to Padre or something like that. I don't see anyone from our group like Morgan or Madison or anyone like that. So I don't think that this is anyone from our survivors group, but it could be. We have this shot of Madison. It looks like she's imprisoned at Padre. And obviously, this connects to the sneak peek that they released. We know that this is actually from before. This is a flashback of when Madison first got to Padre. Now, pay attention to the female character in the background, the one with the wavy hair. We will see her again, and it seems like she's one of the leaders or one of the people in charge at Padre, but not the actual leader. She does come back a few times in the trailer, one of which is right here. We actually see her in front of a fence looking at some zombies that are gathered there. We see her here. We see in the background there's a Jeep. So it looks like she is definitely part of a community that has a lot of equipment, a lot of resources. And then we have this pretty interesting shot of some sort of device, and the device is holding a zombie head, and the zombie head is coming closer to some patient. This is super odd, and I just don't know what to make of it. This is obviously people from Padre, but I don't know exactly what to make of this and, what it's all about. Then we have this zombie hand, and then from there, we're going to take a look at some shots that are kind of related. So it seems like there's some sort of action sequence that takes place in some sort of a pond where we have our survivors in a boat or in a few boats and they're trapped and they're surrounded by zombies. We see Grace actually here killing a walker. Now, what's interesting is that it's likely that what ends up happening is that our survivors come and rescue a prisoner at Padre, and that leads to people from Padre coming after them, like we see here. We see people from Padre jumping on a boat, and then it looks like they're chasing another boat. And if we look here, we see Madison with a prisoner who's wearing an orange jumpsuit. Now, this prisoner, I think, is Morgan and Grace's kid. I could be wrong, but I think that's who this is. So it looks like maybe the group rescues her, and that's why Padre comes after them. And it seems like after they rescue her, they bring her someplace where we see the other survivors, like Daniel Salazar and others, there. And it looks like Padre get there and there's some sort of gunfight that happens. We did see in another trailer Madison, Morgan, everyone is here. So this looks like a big fight sequence between the two groups. And then we have this shot, which appears to show maybe Padre got the upper hand and it looks like they knocked someone out. Maybe Morgan, maybe Madison, maybe Daniel. And we see like a POV shot from them. And obviously in the background, we do see the prisoner, the kid. So it looks like they were not really successful at rescuing her. And then we have this shot of the same lady that appears to be one of the leaders or one of the persons in charge at Padre in the same area where the gunfight took place. And then we have this shot of Morgan. It looks like he's shocked to see something. It looks like he has blood on his hands. So maybe someone was injured. He's trying to take care of them or something. But it looks like he lost someone really close to him or saw someone really close to him get injured or something like that. That'll come back in a little bit, but keep that in mind. And then we have this shot of someone falling after being hit. This looks like this is in the same exact area. So this could be what leads to the moment where we see the POV shot of someone looking at group members of Padre pointing a gun at them. And then we have this shot. So we see someone, a prisoner with an orange jumpsuit, carrying another person that's injured. I don't know who it is. It looks like it's a female. So maybe Grace, maybe Sherry. So that's definitely interesting. This could connect to the scene with Morgan with the shock on his face. So maybe Grace gets injured. That's a possibility. And then we have this shot of Sherry, I think, and someone else, and another prisoner with an orange jumpsuit. I think this is probably Dwight and Sherry and their kid, because we do know that their kid is also imprisoned by Padre at some point. So this is probably what that is. We have Madison and Morgan here showing up, and then we have Morgan killing a walker, and then we have this shot of Grace and Morgan's kid. Not much to say about this. It looks like maybe she's in a container, she's trapped or something, or maybe she's imprisoned again. And then we have this shot of members of Padre who obviously have the fencing masks on their faces being attacked by walkers. We saw a lot of this type of thing in the other trailers where they were trying to kind of test their prisoners or have something where their prisoners have to fight zombies for their entertainment, maybe something like that. So this is connected to that. And then we have this shot of a walker breaking through some sort of a house, and it looks like someone is in there. So maybe one of our survivors being attacked by a zombie. And then we have this shot, which is actually Morgan and Grace and their kid. And this is when they go back to Morgan's house. We do know based on the previous trailer that Morgan travels back to his house from the original show. So he goes back to where it all started in The Walking Dead. So this is them going to Morgan's house or leaving Morgan's house. And then we have this shot of Morgan walking through some corridors, and we see the clear signs and stuff like that, or not signs, but the clear messages on the wall, which is obviously connected to his story. But if you look, it looks like these messages are fresh, like fresh blood. So that's interesting. I'm leaning towards this being some sort of a hallucination, because otherwise it doesn't really make sense why the prints would be so fresh. So it looks like maybe Morgan is hallucinating or something, which obviously teases that he'll get injured and that he'll be about to die or something like that, which is, like I said, a hot topic these days because everyone is kind of teasing that. So either they're making it really obvious now or they're misleading us. One of those two situations. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to go through in this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.